Hello everyone, this is Arwen from Evenstar with a surprise Facebook Live tonight. I didn't get my act together enough to advertise that I was going to do it, but I've wanted all week to have a chat to people about Dental Health Week because I think really ties in really well with one of my great passions, which is food. And you've probably noticed if you do follow me on social media or watch my videos every now and again that a lot of the time they are about food. And that's because, well, food, come on, who doesn't want to hear and talk about food? But also, more importantly, because I do strongly believe that food is one of the keys to our well-being. And if we eat well, which so many of us unfortunately in the modern Western world do not, but if we do eat well, then we have got a much better chance of having a good overall well-being and repairing a lot of the damage that we may have done to ourselves on a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual level through eating bad food for so many years. So, obviously, dental health is all about the mouth and our teeth, and this area is obviously the beginning of our digestive tract, and so has a key relationship with that. One of the most common problems that people have with their mouths can be gum disease. And just to highlight the key relationship between our mouth and our overall health is the fact that they've found that 85% of people who have heart attacks also have gum disease. So they've not been able to determine a causative relationship, but that association is there. So it just paints that beautiful picture of what is going on in your mouth, gives a really good indication of what is going on in your overall well-being. So why did I want to relate this to food? Well, obviously, the absolutely number one way to look after your dental health and your teeth is to eat well. So I wanted to talk about a lot of the foods that are great for your mouth, for dental health, and for your overall health, and to also talk about how we can think about that as an indication of our overall health a bit more. So gum disease, just to finish off my little bit about gum disease, is an autoimmune condition, and it's also been linked very much to the health of our gut, to our digestive system. So one of my favourite topics again is the gut microbiome, and there are definite links between problems with the gut microbiome and also the action of the lining of the gut and gum disease. So if gum disease is a problem for you, I'd really urge you to speak to a naturopath or a nutritionist about getting your gut microbiome checked out. And it might be that that's a bit of a vicious cycle going on in your overall well-being that you could get checked out. So let's go back to food. So a number of decades ago, Weston Price, so a really famous dental researcher, did a lot of traveling around the world and looking at so-called primitive cultures and observing what happened when the modern Western diet was introduced to these people, as opposed to those that kind of avoided that and stuck with their traditional diet. And it was actually really incredible the difference that he found in the dental health of these societies that began eating the modern Western diet and having terrible problems with cavities, and also over a number of years with actually the shape of their jaw. So it's really incredible the fact that that what we eat has changed over the years, the shape and size of our jaws. The number of teeth that we were evolved to have just simply don't fit anymore because of the difference in the nutrients and what that's doing to our bone structure and bringing about these smaller, tighter jaws. So I don't know if you've noticed, but so many kids, it's like every second kid these days seems to need braces. When I was growing up, that was pretty rare. And that's because the teeth that we've evolved, the number that we've evolved to have, just simply don't fit in anymore. And functional dentistry is now finding that, in fact, just by changing the diet back to a really natural, clean, whole foods, plant-based diet, that kids are able to turn around the health of their teeth and even their jaw structure. So that is just incredible. So this also, I just wanted to point out this study that Weston Price did. So as I said, it was decades ago. So this was before, you know, the modern day where there's McDonald's on every corner, where sugar's added to everything. So you can only just imagine how much worse it is now, which is a bit scary. Okay, so food. What is some good food? So all the things I would say, so what I just mentioned before about the changes you can make to improve the health of your teeth is absolutely true. So plant-based, so trying to make sure that the bulk of the food on your plate is plant-based, is fruit, is vegetables, is grains, legumes, nuts. Certainly good quality grass-fed meat is going to be important as well. I'm just going to talk in a moment about fat. So that is a really good source of good fats as well. And it's really important to get a wide spectrum, a wide variety of your fruits and vegetables. So trying to make sure that you eat the full rainbow spectrum of vegetables, especially every day, and fruit as well, or fruit, you can combine them. So if you think of the rainbow and you try and tick off mentally, or like some people do, actually put that rainbow on your fridge and make sure that everybody in the family can tick off every colour every day. If you haven't had your blue colour, well, that's great. You get to go and have some frozen raspberries for dessert. Something like that is a really good idea, and not what my nephews tried to convince me a few weeks ago, that if you go and choose the colours out of the M&M's packet that you haven't had for that day. That is absolutely not what I'm talking about. But it does bring me to a nice segue onto the next thing, which is, of course, sugar. You know, I think pretty much everyone knows sugar is bad for your teeth. And the problem with sugar is there's so many hidden sugars these days, and also the fact that sugar is addictive. It's been said it's potentially even more addictive than cocaine, and that is because, again, coming back to the gut microbiome, all the little bacteria in your gut that like sugar, that sugar helps them to grow and thrive and multiply, will send messages to your brain to make you eat more sugar. So at least you have an excuse. It's not your lack of willpower, but it is really important to cut sugar out absolutely drastically. And if you can, pretty much try to get back down to having it only in very small amounts, very occasionally, which is what our bodies are designed to deal with. So yeah, a diet rich in fats as well is also really important. So our bodies actually cannot process the vitamins and minerals that we might take in our diet, even if we eat a really healthy diet. If we are not having fat to allow those vitamins and minerals to be absorbed through the gut, then we might as well go and eat that packet of M&Ms and not anything else. So really important to have good fats. So go for your virgin olive oil, your coconut oil, your fats from meat products. So good quality grass-fed, organic red meat in very small quantities. Fish is an amazing source of great fat. Good fats. So try also with fish if you want to avoid toxicity, because there's a lot of information out there about fish containing various heavy metals and things like that. So the smaller fish that you eat, the less likely it is to be contaminated by that, or you're going to be eating much smaller quantities of that contaminant if you are eating it. So salmon and sardines, they're fabulous for the types of fats they contain, and also they're very small fish. And also butter and ghee are fantastic for helping your body to absorb the fats, to absorb the vitamins and minerals. Now, also very important for a lot of things, and especially for vitamin D, which is one of the really critical ones for your dental health. The body needs to be able to process and use the vitamin D, and the best way to activate vitamin D is for you to actually get out into the sunlight. It doesn't have to be a sunny day, and it doesn't have to be for a long time, but getting outside has so many benefits for your well-being, which again, if you've followed me at all for any period of time, you'll be seeing that I'm constantly telling you to get outside, get in the fresh air, get the sunlight, get near trees, grass, sand, water. And the benefit of that is you're being outdoors and you're getting the sunlight, activating your vitamin D and making it accessible for your body to use, especially in the production of more cells for your teeth and your bones, which is really critical. Okay, so really, as far as dental health, that's what I wanted to talk about. But because I'm talking about this topic, I did want to mention a couple of other things to do with toxicity for you and also for the planet. So fluoride is in our water, and it has been found to be a neurotoxin. The fact that it's in our water means that we all get the same quantity of it, regardless of how heavy we are, how old we are, what our diet is, what our overall health is. There's no way that we're able to limit that or to increase that, regardless of what our needs are. I would really, really encourage you to filter your water and get rid of that fluoride. Fluoride is not needed for your teeth to be healthy. What is needed is healthy food. So the other thing is toothpaste. So a lot of toothpastes have a lot of quite harmful chemicals in them as well. And again, if you're wanting to avoid toxicity and go a bit more low tox, I would encourage you to get an organic, natural type of toothpaste to try and avoid a lot of those chemicals, because you're putting them in your mouth. It's a really easily absorbed through the membranes in your mouth, and your mouth is very close to your brain. So we don't want to be putting those kind of toxic chemicals in our mouth wherever we can possibly avoid it. And the last thing is the planet. Of course, our dental products do cause a lot of waste. Did you know that every toothbrush that has been produced is still in existence? Because if they're made from plastic, they do not break down. So please consider going out and getting your next toothbrush next time you need one, made one of the bamboo ones, or you can get them made from cornstarch. Something that is going to be biodegradable and break down eventually. And the same thing goes for dental floss. You can get really great ones made from bamboo and things like that, which are going to break down, because otherwise they're made of plastic and they're not going to break down. So although you might think it's a tiny bit of waste, every little bit adds up. So if you have any questions, if there's anything else you'd like to know or want my detail on, please, please, please feel free to contact me. And otherwise, in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely evening and be well. Bye.